Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let it take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome to Wisconsin Family. I'm Jessa Jeremiah.
And I'm Justin Riley, and we're so excited to be sitting on the orange chair and the orange sofa here at Rubens Furniture, downtown Madison.
Orange is back. Did you know that?
Yeah,
That's
orange
pretty
is the
great.
new orange.
It is indeed. We're excited to be here as always. We're going to chat later in the show with designer JJ, who has been here 33 years, celebrating an anniversary.
That's incredible. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
It's quite a milestone, and we're going to learn about some of the things that he has learned over the years, of course, some of the more memorable projects, but also some of the design trends that have changed throughout the years. What a fun industry to be in for 3 decades.
Absolutely. We're also talking fitness today. We're going to be joined by Natalie from Dragonfly Hot Yoga and Flight Cycle. They're two sort of sister studios, if you will.
Yeah, we are talking really running the gamut of fitness today, because we get to talk about yoga, which of course has its place and is wonderful for the mind and body. Cycle, which is near and dear to my heart. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about training and recovering from injury with Iron Grip Gym.
Yeah, using those smaller muscle groups, those stabilizing muscles.
Yes.
It's an important aspect of strength training.
So if you're recovering from surgery, or maybe just even want to keep those joints strong, we're going to learn how to do that after the break, talking to Iron Grip Gym. Stick with us here on Wisconsin Family.
'Cause every day is a new day. 'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are filming here at Rubens Furniture. We are downtown and we are comfy as can be. What do you think?
Yep, agreed.
Now we're joined by two lovely guests. We're talking fitness, and we're talking with the folks from Iron Grip Gym. And you may recognize Nicole, and we're glad to have you back. How are you doing?
Good.
Glad to see you. And you have a guest today. This is
Yes.
Colleen. Colleen, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Great. So kind of give us the introduction, if you would, to Colleen.
So Colleen came to us as a member, and throughout her time with us has now become a trainer.
Wonderful. Isn't that funny how it starts? You kind of come in as a client and you get passionate about what you're doing and want to work. You want to work there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds like that's a great plan.
So, Colleen, from what I understand, that you had back surgery recently. Tell us a little bit about maybe not recently, but you've had back surgery, and tell us a little bit about that procedure.
Sure. A few years ago, I slipped on some ice because we're in Wisconsin, and I blew out a couple of discs. So I had to go in for what's called a discectomy. They go in and scrape everything out and then sew you back up, and there's a decent recovery for that, but I've been able to obviously get back into the fitness and working out through that. So
much so that you're actually training people.
Yeah.
Wow,
Right.
that's discectomy. That sounds very pleasant.
Yeah, the description paints a pretty picture.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk specifically about that process. So now your recovery process included functional training, and what was it about the training, functional fitness, I guess I should say, that really made the recovery process possible, faster, better?
Functional fitness is actually sort of perfect for injury recovery because it's non-impact, so you're not jarring anything that's injured. It's scalable, so you can build onto it as you recover. You're not going to hit a point and have to stop.
Okay.
And it also really focuses on support, or building the support muscles instead of just the big major muscles. You're working on all the little muscles that actually help support your joints and your spine and things like that. So you're not putting as much load on those then in the future.
Isn't that smart? That's just smart for anybody, whether you've had surgery or not, because those joints can get so worn over time, especially with age. So.
And Nicole, I want to talk to you for just a second here, because Dustin, who obviously is not here today, also had a significant injury. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how he recovered and everything?
Yeah, his was also kind of a freak thing. He slipped and he tore his talofibular ligament on the outside, complete tear of his ankle. And actually, with his brace on and all the PT he was doing, he was back. I mean, he was back in the gym the following week because that's how he is, cleared by the staff. But
hopping on one leg, probably.
right. But he was doing the jumping and everything within half of the time as your normal recovery.
Wow.
just because of all of the stabilizing that we do, all the balance that we do, everything around those tendons and ligaments was really strong. So he has no effects from it today.
It's kind of it's something that a lot of us don't think of. Those smaller muscle groups are really the stabilizing muscles that really help us to not only prevent injury but recover faster from injury as well. They always say that if you're running downhill, you're actually building more muscle by running downhill because you're using more stabilizing muscles.
Yep. Yep.
I always knew I wasn't just lazy. Well, let's talk a little bit too. I'm curious if you would kind of expand a little bit on what the process is. So, obviously we're hearing these great recovery stories, and there's the why behind it is the smaller muscle groups. What kinds of things are you doing? What are the exercises?
So a lot of, especially with his ankle injury, it's a lot of balancing like on a towel. You would just kind of like do a calf raise almost on a towel to start strengthening that. And then we have balance disc is one thing that we try to strengthen ankles on. And he would do his normal PT, the ABCs with your ankle, that stuff. And obviously icing and all the other protocol, but it's really the stabilizing and balancing exercises that we do consistently.
It almost sounds like little isolated little movements where you almost may not look like you're doing a big workout.
Yeah, it looks like you're doing nothing.
It's probably hard,
Yep, it's really good for the recovery.
So if somebody is interested in getting started with classes at Iron Grip Gym, what's the process? What's the first thing they can do?
First thing, they can either call or email Nicole@irongripgymaos.com, or they can look at our website. You can find us on Groupon. We have a couple of deals there. And soon we'll be using the MindBody app, so we'll have that access as well, which is a good way for people to book their classes and see what we have.
You take the excuse out, if people say they don't have time or they're too busy to get started, give them an app, and now
it's right in front of you.
Excuse. You can download the app.
Yep, so we'll be starting that soon.
Oh, that's wonderful. Cool. You guys have been great. And what a wonderful thing for folks to know at home that there's some additional things that you can do if you're suffering from an injury, or maybe even just have some weak joints, that there's really a very specified group of training exercises that can help, and some folks that obviously not only have knowledge in the industry but have personal experience to walk you through it.
Yep.
And Colleen, if they want to get started training with you, come into Iron Grip Gym. How does that work?
Yeah, we have a set schedule, so I teach classes on Sundays if anybody wants to come in, and we're going to be expanding our schedule a little bit, so
very exciting.
Check it out.
Well, so nice to meet you. Thanks
Nice
for
to meet
sharing
you.
your story.
Yep.
And of course, Nicole, thank you so much for sharing Dustin's story.
Right.
Hi, Dustin.
Yep.
We
Thanks for having
appreciate
us.
it. So nice to see you both. Iron Grip Gym. We're talking fitness. We're here at Rubens Furniture. We've got a great rest of the show coming up after this, so stick with us.
Welcome to Wisconsin Family. Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We're here at Rubens Furniture, and we're downtown.
We are. We're enjoying ourselves here on a colorful set today.
Yes,
I'm enjoying it.
orange couches, orange furniture. It's great.
And blue, I match. I would like to bring
we're
up.
blue. We're joined now by Natalie Koberstein from Dragonfly Hot Yoga and Flight Cycle. Natalie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Great. Nice to see you.
So I'm going to be asking all the questions about Dragonfly today, and you can
Okay.
ask the questions about Flight. How's that sound?
Deal, you're on.
So Dragonfly has a great introductory offer going on right now. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So our intro offer is $40.
Okay.
$40 gets you 30 days of unlimited yoga and fitness classes, which is awesome. We have a huge variety of classes that you can take. Yeah, and that includes a bar amped class on top of your yoga and fitness. You really get to try everything that we offer, and it's a good way to get a little snapshot of what your yoga and fitness journey could look like at Dragonfly by trying that intro month.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
And there's two different facilities. So there's Dragonfly, and then there's also Flight. And so the cycle component has its whole own space, which I think is really neat because it is such an experience, especially with what you guys do. And if you haven't tried cycle before, there's a great way to sort of dip your toe in without spending too much. So what's the introductory offer there?
Right, so Flight also has an intro offer. It's $49 and you get 5 flights. So it really brings kind of that cost per class down. And then you can try, again, we have a variety of like length of time classes. So we have a 45-minute, we have a 60, we have a 30. So you can really explore within those 5 classes the offerings at Flight as well.
In case you don't think you're going to make the 60, because sometimes it is hard the first class.
Ease your way in a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's smart.
But everybody can kind of work at their own level. I mean, you don't really push people too far out of their comfort zones when you're there.
No, our instructors are trained really well to offer different variations, different modifications. So you can crank up your resistance on a flight bike, or you can take it down and just work on speed work the whole time.
Okay.
Same thing with yoga. You can come into a yoga class and our instructors are going to offer variations for the poses that will give you either more intensity or maybe a little bit more ease.
That's great. You're not allowed to ask flight questions. We had a deal.
I'm sorry. I'm going to go now. Okay, I'll go back to Dragonfly. You guys have a class called Yoga Up, and you're hosting a training to actually teach, for people to teach this starting in September. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Yoga Up's super cool. It's one of those fitness classes that we offer. So it's yoga, cardio, and weights all combined in one 45 or 60-minute class. It's really fun. It is different every time you go. So our training is in September 17th. It's 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's a one-day training, which is awesome. You get in, get out, and you're trained to teach. So you learn the format of the class, you learn the exercises, you learn how to find your teaching voice when you're up in front of a room full of people, getting them to sweat. So it's a lot of fun, and it's a great thing to have under your belt.
That's wonderful. And Labor Day, God, is Labor Day coming up?
No.
Isn't that so scary? It's actually coming up. Yes, it does. So you think of like car dealerships or like, I don't know, some big box stores having Labor Day sales, but there's something going on for fitness with Flight too, right?
Yes, it's our Labor Fly Day. So we're doing $5 flights all day on Labor Day at Flight,
that's awesome.
which is like, I mean, it's essentially the cost of a latte. You can come in and take a cycling class. So
for $10, you can get your latte and then go take a class.
Exactly. Perfect.
Or vice
Or
versa.
maybe switch up.
Maybe that might be better.
I think that's important to know. When people think about, I can't afford to join a fitness club or whatever, but if you think about the money that we spend on other things like lattes versus things that we really don't need, we really need to take care of ourselves. We really need to be physically fit.
You can't afford not to. Whether it's time or money, you can't afford not to invest.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm curious to know about what is Bend and Brew. We're talking about lattes here, so what is Bend and Brew?
Another great way to explore two things you love, yoga and beer.
So this is not
good.
coffee.
We're on
this
to beer.
This is beer.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Coffee, you're on the bench.
Chaturanga, cheese, beer. We
I
like
was
to
trying
tie
to
it all
figure out
in.
what that said. Chaturanga.
Chaturanga. Chaturanga is a yoga position, a yoga pose.
Oh,
and so
okay.
we have a little play on it, Chaturanga, because we are in Wisconsin.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yoga and cheese. Okay,
Yeah.
but now let's talk beer. The
So
other
Bend and
important
Brew, we
thing.
host it out at Wisconsin Brewing Company. You
Okay.
pay $25, and there's an hour-long flow class, and then you get a free beer afterwards. And they're a small batch brewery. They distribute throughout the state, but their beers are really unique, and so you get to try that beer for free after you get nice and sweaty, either in the brew room or lately we've had the option to go outside because it's been beautiful outside. So
Well, and you'll be thirsty after you have that
Yes.
workout. So
yeah,
Or maybe the other way around. Maybe you've had the beer before and you can try the yoga. You know?
yep, there you go.
Get them both in. Talk to us a little bit more about test flights. Back to flight cycle. What exactly is a test flight?
Yeah, so when I talk about our pilots being trained really well, they actually have to go through this whole training process where they do a test flight where you can come in and it's their first flight to the public.
Okay.
So they teach to a room full of people and they get to test out their skills that they've learned, and our trainers give them feedback, and then if they pass that test flight, they get to teach classes. So you can really catch an instructor on their very first big class full of people.
Yeah.
So they're really exciting and really fun, and they're always very unique.
Yeah.
So they're great to check out.
yeah, and there's no worry of crashing on your first test flight because it's a cycle class.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. You're grounded.
Right.
Natalie Koverstein, we always enjoy your company. Thank you for coming on today.
Thanks, you guys. It was great to be here.
Head on down to Dragonfly Hot Yoga. They've got 3 locations, is it, or 4?
4.
4 locations now. And Flight Cycle is over on the west side as well. Check them out. It's a great workout. Don't go away. There's more Wisconsin Family coming up right after this. Stick around.
'Cause every day is a new day.
And welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We're here at Rubens Furniture, downtown Madison. and we're excited to be here because we're sitting on the orange couches today.
There's really no bad place to sit.
There's no
but
bad place
I'm
to sit at all.
particularly enjoying this right now, yes.
We're joined by designer JJ Johnson. JJ, it's always good to have you with us.
Well, thank you, and welcome to Rubens this morning.
Love coming.
Yeah, we love coming here. So we noticed that recently you celebrated your 33rd year here at Rubens. Congratulations on that.
It's
Thank
such
you,
a
thank you. It's
milestone.
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That I can exist this long.
You would never know that you could have possibly been here for 33 years,
Yeah.
but what a milestone. Incredible. Congrats.
It's been very interesting and a wonderful adventure and wonderful experiences.
That's so great.
You know, you have to have had some really, there have to be some designs or projects that you've worked on that have just been, that kind of stick out in your mind as being more memorable. Do you have any stories to tell about that?
Well, the most interesting one was a villa on the island of St. Thomas.
Okay.
It was owned by a local family here who leased it out to the White House. So it's nice to know that a self-taught designer from northern Minnesota can do a home where you can say that the president slept.
Wow.
That was very interesting when President Clinton was in office, and one of their famous snapshots was taken on the beach at the villa. So it was very interesting at that time.
Oh, absolutely.
Still is.
Well,
Yeah.
kudos to you. I mean, that's great bragging rights, really, for us to have
Right.
you on the
Oh.
show. So
Yeah.
thank you. But that's what a neat story. And I'm sure that we're going to just make you reminisce today
Okay.
and talk a little bit about your experiences. But you have done some incredible design work and even some traveling, because you don't always work with clients right here necessarily. Let's talk about where some of these design projects have taken you in terms of your travels.
Well, because Mr. Rubin hired me, and I'm very appreciative of that here 33 years ago, through the years, because being here at Rubens, I've been able to travel to Germany, Denmark, Finland, the south of France, in the Caribbean, and also St. Thomas, but throughout the whole United States, from Seattle to Florida to California, Arizona, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, quite a bit.
Yes.
Chicago, Missouri. So it's
We
been
only
adventurous.
have a few minutes
I know,
left.
I
No,
know.
just teasing you. No, but that's so how fun is that? You get to actually go and do work for clients that have maybe homes elsewhere. And
Well, I've been around so long that I've kind of grown with the clients. So as the people have improved with their business or their companies, they've been transferred. It's been very interesting. Up in Marshfield, I worked with a lot of the physicians that were with the Marshfield Clinic, who then later transferred to California. And I was able to do, the most unusual place was an office for a plastic surgeon on Fashion Island. That was very, very interesting.
I bet.
Because it's nothing but plastic surgeons' offices there. And at that time, they were changing it. That was called the spa. It was no longer going to the plastic surgeon. So they would have a place for you to stay. And we were able, the only room that looked anything clinical was the operating room. Everything else looked like a very luxurious penthouse. So it was very interesting.
Well, absolutely. That's an idyllic sort of business. You need the space to match.
Yes.
Have you ever just wanted, like, hoping you hear someone's relocating and you're going, France, Paris, I'm hoping. No.
Well, I've been to France.
You've been there too.
And it's been very interesting because I like history, and I am a self-taught designer. I'm always learning, and the fact that design, furnishings, architecture is all historical. So it's very, very interesting to find that some of the things or applications that were being used hundreds of years ago are still being applied to
Right.
designs, yes.
And I think, talk a little bit about that, because I imagine just being here for 3 decades that you've seen, trends that have come and go and then maybe even come back too. Have you experienced that at all?
Orange sofas.
We're sitting in it right now.
It's a wonderful trend. It's an exciting color. Of course, I was born in '53, so I was born in the era of orange, and not only in sofas, but in kitchen appliances and other things. But no, like mid-century modern has come back very strong now. So I would consider that a trend that has been reborn, because it's now grown into something a little bit different than it was when it first came out.
Sure.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's a nice thing, though.
And trends seem to be sort of cycling around more quickly than they used to, I find, because, you know, it seems like it took a little bit longer for things to sort of resurface, and now design is just moving so fast, and I find that fascinating. So touch on what some of the things are now. What are the big trends? What are popular? What are clients requesting that are really sort of in?
Well, what I think that's exciting particularly here with Rubens, because we're not married to one particular brand of furniture or a style of furniture. And in comparison to a lot of other retail types of situations like what we have here, you don't have to settle. You don't have to settle with either the brown sofa or the black sofa that's on the floor. You can be as dramatic as wanting to have orange or any color in leather nowadays. So.
Oh my gosh, the leather selection is
it's amazing.
Incredible.
So I would say that we're more trend setters than trend followers.
Nice.
And that we can see things that are coming into the future. And because people want to have more of a personalized look rather than something that just comes into style for one season like the fashion industry and it's out of style the next fashion industry, people are investing in a look that's just for them. And that's what makes it exciting nowadays.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's unique to them.
It's everlasting.
Yeah. Like the everlasting gobstopper. Sorry, I just had to pop into my head.
Okay.
So you guys are having a leather sale coming up in August.
We're having a wonderful promotion going up in August. In fact, it'll be with several different companies. That you'll have some fantastic things to look up on our commercials that are coming into being. We're carrying some new lines that will be on a promotional price. We're also, like right now, we have a current promotion with leather that if you're ordering a grade 6,000, you can get it at a grade 3,000 price, which is a very nice value. So you can take advantage of that, which is very nice. And that's with our Palliser company.
And I think what's nice to know about leather is there's different, you guys are so good about finding out what goes on in that particular individual's home and maybe what kinds of durability needs there are, what kinds of shape needs, and we mentioned so much color. I mean, the variety with leather now is just incredible. I think it's so nice.
Well, I think the one thing to try to educate people about is they'll come in the store and they'll say, we have a dog and 3 children, so we need something durable. What fabrics do you have? And I said, well, you should be looking at leather because a lot of people aren't aware that leather is skin and that it's healable. There's a wonderful person here in town that has done miracles with leather where if it was ripped, it can be healed and you wouldn't see a scar.
Wow.
If it's been had some other damage done to it, it can be taken care of.
Right.
Whereas with fabric, if the dog all of a sudden decides to dig in the cushion, well,
you're out of cushion.
That's out. That's gone.
Yeah.
But if they were to scratch the leather or dig into it, we have a person that can do wonderful miracles in rehealing the leather, and that's the better investment for you. So with kids, it's more difficult for them to damage the leather than what a fabric sofa would be.
Good to know. Well, we look forward
And
to
cat
that
hair
sale.
brushes right off.
That's always good too.
JJ Johnson, we always enjoy having you on the program. Thanks so much for joining us today.
us
Well, thank you
here.
for having us.
JJ is a designer here at Rubens Furniture, downtown Madison. Come on down, pick something out. They've got leather coming up this August. That's all the time we have for Wisconsin Family. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day